Welcome to my video on the sum and difference rule for derivatives. This is another video in my calculus tutorial series. So first thing we want to do is we want to look at the theorem associated with the sum. And so that is the derivative dx. Now in this case we've got the sum of two functions f of x plus g of x. Now this can be written as dx of f of x plus the derivative, they just break out. So that makes it fairly straightforward. You've got the sum, you can just break it out into individual parts. So basically the derivative of the sum is the sum of the derivatives. Now for the difference, very similar formula. The derivative of a function f of x minus g of x is going to be equal to the derivative with respect to x of f of x minus the derivative of g of x with respect to x. So that's our sum and difference formula for the derivative. Now I want to do an example. We will take y is equal to 12x minus the square root of x plus 5 over x. So let's take the derivative with respect to x of y. That using the sum and difference rule, that's 12x, the derivative of that, minus the derivative dx, the square root of x, plus 5, the derivative dx of 5 divided by x. Just taking it term by term. Now, the first one, we factor out the constant. We know we can do that. So now it's just the derivative of dx minus, now we want to do the derivative of dx, and then the square root of x is just x to the 1/2 power, plus factor out the 5 out of this one, and we've got the derivative of 1 over x, so that's just x to the minus 1 power. Write that very good. X to the minus 1. So let's do our derivatives. Okay, so this one we know goes to 1 because the derivative of x is just equal to 1. And so we've got the derivative, now we've got the power function here on the second term. So using our power rule, so we've got to take out the 1/2 out front, x to the 1/2 minus 1, plus, go through your 5, now the derivative of the x to the minus 1 is just take the minus 1 out front, and it's x to the minus 1 minus 1. So we get 12 minus 1/2, and then we got 1/2, looking at the exponent here, 1/2 minus, so that's x to the minus 1/2. And then we're going to do a minus 5 here. And then we've got x to the minus 2. So now we can rewrite that if we want. That's our answer, 12. And so that's going to be minus 1/2. That's the square root of 2 because it's the minus 1/2, so it goes in the denominator. Minus 5 divided by x squared, putting that in the denominator. So either one of those are acceptable forms for the derivative of this function. Y, let's see, y is equal to 5x cubed minus 8. So we want dy dx. From our difference formula, that's just going to be the derivative with respect to x, 5x cubed, minus the derivative with respect to x of 8. Now we know that, first we can just do this one. This one's just going to go to 0, because we know the derivative of a constant is always equal to 0. So now we're just left with the derivative of 5x cubed. Now from the power rule, and we've got a video on this, that's just equal, we can factor out the 5, that's a constant, so the derivative of dx, x cubed. Now by the power rule, we take the factor out front, so it's 5 times 3, take that coefficient or exponent there, and so it is 3 minus 1, so we've got 15, so that's the 5 times 3, 3 minus 1 is 2, x squared. So that is our answer right there. So that is the derivative of this function right there. Well, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. And I do have other videos in my calculus series. Thank you.